It's not in Siberia, but a language family spoken in this mountain range is tied with Navajoina, somewhat dubious hypothesis. A semi-pagan people in this mountain range, the Kevser, worship at shrines referred to as crosses. A city sharing its name with this mountain range is located near Bagram, Afghanistan, and was the capital of the Indo-Greek kingdom. A breakaway republic was founded in this mountain range by a former Air Force general idolized in Estonia. That was the Republic of Ichkeria. While it existed, that republic bordered the republics of Ingushetia and Dagestan. For 10 points, name this mountain range that is often used along with the Urals as a boundary between Europe and Asia. And those would be the Caucasus Mountains. This city contains two cathedrals located opposite each other, one of which was built for Huguenot refugees. This city's name derives from a Slavic word for swamp, and its subway system, the result of combining two prior systems, is notoriously hard to navigate. This city's museum island is the site of museums including the Pergamon, and this city is located along the Spree River. The federal state containing this city's metropolitan area is completely surrounded by Brandenburg. For 10 points, name this capital of Germany. And that would be Berlin. Before the concert at the Parthenon, Robert Altman's Nashville features a performance at one of these places that is named for the concert held there. In 2013, director Randy Moore surreptitiously filmed a movie inside one of these places titled For an Escape. A style of hot dog topped with meat popular in Michigan is named for a neighborhood known for containing these places. One of these places in Vienna is called the Prater, and the oldest currently extant example of these places is located in Copenhagen and called Tivoli Gardens. One of these places in Southern California called itself a berry farm, and historically these places in New York were concentrated in the neighborhood of Coney Island. For 10 points, name these recreational areas that may include attractions like Ferris wheels and roller coasters. And those would be amusement parks. This river takes a 180-degree turn where it joins the Canoe at the site of boat encampment, from where the York Factory Express has followed the path of this river downstream. The rocky terrain around this river's mouth has prevented the formation of a delta, so its unimpeded flow hits a sandbar at its mouth at Cape Disappointment. This river flows through the Tri-Cities area, passing by the cities of Richland and Kennewick. FDR Lake was created by America's most powerful electricity generating plant on this river, whose longest tributary flows through Jackson Hole and Hell's Canyon before joining it, and the Yakima at Pasco. The Grand Coulee Dam straddles this river, which is joined by the Willamette at Portland. For 10 points, name this river in the Pacific Northwest that forms the border between Washington and Oregon. And that would be the Columbia River. This specific body of water was subjected to a highly unusual extratropical cyclone on September 14, 1996. Salt has been mined on the shores of this body of water since the 19th century, centered on the town of Goderich. Of the over 1,000 shipwrecks in this body of water, 2 are claimed to be the wreckage of Le Griffin, the first ship to travel it. The invasive zebra mussels affect water intake for nuclear generation on this body of water, which is the site of the world's currently largest nuclear generator by capacity, the Bruce Nuclear Generating Station near the Bruce Peninsula. The St. Mary's and St. Clair rivers connect this body of water to 2 others, and it is connected to another body of water by the Straits of Mackinac. It contains Georgian Bay and has over 30,000 islands, including the world's largest freshwater island, Manitoulin Island. For 10 points, name this Great Lake between Michigan and Erie. And that would be Lake Huron. After being kicked out of the SAS for using his training to blow up a dam built for the Dr. Dolittle movie, Ranulph Fiennes trained counterinsurgents to instead blow up communists in this country. Much water in this country is provided by Falaj, expanded by the Yarabad dynasty. Before selling it off to China, Pakistan purchased the Gwadar port from this country. Power was centralized in this country after its last government, Imamate, was defeated the Jebel Ankhdar War when British planes bombed rebels out of the Al-Hajar Mountains. Rulers of this country have belonged to the Ibadi sect, including the Nabhani and Said dynasties. After this country was unified, a small town in Dhofar was chosen as residence by its ruler Said ibn Tamur, who was overthrown in 1970 by his son Qaboos. Its exclave of Musaddam was part of its historical maritime empire, including Zanzibar. For 10 points, name this Arab Gulf state whose capital is Muscat. That would be Oman. The Milk River flows through this region's Riding on Stone Park. Indigenous peoples in this region have such designations as Peerless Trout, Frog Lake, and Ermine Skin. The southeastern part of this region contains the valley of the Red Deer River, a badland area that is a major center of research on dinosaur fossils such as those of Strigosaurs and Dromaeosaurs. The Wild Rose Party is a populist organization based in this governmental entity, which since 2015 has been led by Rachel Notley, a member of the New Democratic Party. May 2016 wildfires devastated the town of Fort McMurray, a center of the fossil fuel industry near this province's Athabasca oil sands. For 10 points, Banff National Park is located in what prairie province of Canada, the only province that adjoins both British Columbia and Saskatchewan? And that would be Alberta. A tax revolt in this non-Caribbean region resulted in the destruction of Fort San Domingo. The colonial government of this region took heavy retaliation against the Cedic people after a massacre at an elementary school in the Musha incident. Frederick Coyette was forced to leave this place after he failed to defend the trading post of Fort Zelandia. Ming loyalist forces established the kingdom of Tungnian in this place, where numerous shrines venerate the naval warlord Koxinga. Most early Chinese immigrants to this place were Hakka rice farmers who helped repulse a French invasion of it in the Tonkin War. Both the Liaodong Peninsula and this territory were transferred to the Empire of Japan via the Treaty of Shimonoseki. For 10 points, name this island, which currently comprises most of the territory administered by the Republic of China. And that would be Taiwan. Cryptids supposedly native to this country include the beast of Bodmin. A rumored population of escaped zoo animals that roam this nation's countryside is referred to as this country's ABCs, or alien big cats. The oldest recorded footsteps outside of Africa were discovered in this country's coastal town of Happisburg. The tongue twister "She Sells Seashells by the Seashore" was inspired by a pioneering female paleontologist who is best known for studying this country's coast, Mary Anning. A collection of 5 historical beach towns in this country's south are referred to as the Cinque Ports. Many shingle beaches are found in this country's Jurassic coast, and a group of coastal cliffs in this country are known as the Seven Sisters. Popular tourist locations on this country's coast include the city of Torquay, Chesil Beach, and a line of chalk-colored cliffs. For 10 points, name this country whose southern coast contains the White Cliffs of Dover. And that would be England, or Great Britain, or the United Kingdom. Both the Greek anthology and John Malalas describe a Libyan-born man who gained fame for his actions at this location, before changing his name to Calliopas and leading an attack on a Jewish synagogue in Antioch. That man, Porphyrius, was the dedicatee of 7 monuments at this place, which also holds a bronze pillar consisting of 3 intertwined snakes. The serpent column was moved from Delphi to this structure, which also contains the walled obelisk and the obelisk of Theodosius. The eastern side of this place had a section called the Kathisma that was reserved for the emperor. This location was the traditional site of an acclamation for new emperors before coronations were instituted by Leo the Thracian. This place was held by a mob that proclaimed Hypatius emperor in 532, causing Mundus and Belisarius to massacre the blues and the greens. For 10 points, name this central site of the Nika riots, a stadium in Constantinople used, for other things, among other things, for chariot racing. And that would be the Hippodrome of Constantinople. The best-known climbing route up a peak in this mountain range was discovered when its namesake, Glen Exum, impulsively jumped over a chasm. A peak in this range appears to have an abnormally flat summit due to a basalt intrusion called the Black Dyke. Tourists in this mountain range can take the tram up Rendezvous Mountain or visit a nearby historical homestead site, Mormon Row. A peak in this range is named after the painter Thomas Moran. This mountain range, whose three highest peaks are collectively known as the Cathedral Group, provides the backdrop to the most photographed barn in America. The John D. Rockefeller Jr. Parkway travels parallel to this mountain range, whose highest point is colloquially referred to as the Grand. For 10 points, name this mountain range located north of Jackson Hole and south of Yellowstone in Wyoming. And that would be the Teton Range.